Derek Bieri, the mastermind behind Vice Grip Garage, has lived through a whirlwind of life changes that would surprise even the most seasoned storytellers. From wrenching on rusted-out relics in dusty barns to winning the admiration of millions across the globe, his rise to fame felt like an unstoppable ride. But as the spotlight grew brighter, so did the shadows. Behind the cheerful YouTube persona and the roaring engines was a life taking unexpected turns. What triggered this shift? What controversies crept into his seemingly perfect world? Stay tuned as we uncover the real journey of an automotive icon who never saw it coming. The man fueling Vice Grip Garage wasn't your typical car enthusiast born with a wrench in hand. Derek was born on May 16, 1984 in Minot, North Dakota, and raised on a family farm, where things weren't replaced, they were fixed. Forget tales of love at first sight with engines or shiny tools. His real education came from watching his dad and grandfather repair everything from broken-down tractors to household appliances. That lifestyle taught him resilience, resourcefulness, and a deep respect for making things work with whatever was available. This upbringing quietly molded the hands-on attitude he'd later bring to car restoration. But Derek's journey wasn't just shaped by his environment, it was sparked by something deeper. As a kid, he wasn't only tinkering with tools, he was developing real-world skills. Welding, fabricating, and fixing vehicles with scrap parts became second nature. He didn't chase a college degree to learn this stuff, he learned it the hard way. Every mistake taught him something. That DIY spirit opened doors to managing auto shops and eventually crafting custom car builds. His knowledge wasn't academic, it was earned through grease, sweat, and trial and error. And that authenticity would soon become his biggest strength. In 2007, Derek decided to take a bold step. He brought his gritty passion for fixing cars to the internet. Inspired by other automotive creators online, he launched Vice Grip Garage on YouTube. It wasn't flashy at first, but it was real. His breakthrough came with a project most folks wouldn't dare touch, restoring a beat-up 1969 Camaro Z28. Viewers were instantly hooked. It wasn't just the car, it was the way he told the story, his down-to-earth attitude, and how he breathed new life into vehicles others would have scrapped. People weren't just watching him work, they were rooting for the journey. Vice Grip Garage didn't explode overnight, but it kept gaining traction. Derek's style was different. No gimmicks, no fancy gear, just genuine effort and elbow grease. He'd roll up to auctions, drag home rusty wrecks, and somehow make them run again. His videos became more than car content, they were narratives of revival. It wasn't about perfection, it was about potential. And people loved that message. In a world obsessed with new and shiny, Derek reminded viewers that the old and forgotten could still have value. His channel evolved into a haven for anyone who believed in second chances, cars or otherwise. What made Derek's rise even more compelling was his detour through corporate life. Before YouTube fame, he had tucked away his passion for cars and stepped into the world of business. For years, he wore suits instead of coveralls, traded engines for meetings, and climbed the ranks as a respected executive. He even became a company president. But despite the title and the paycheck, something felt off. His heart never left the garage. Even after long days in boardrooms, he'd still end up in his home shop, hands greasy, trying to stay connected to the thing he truly loved. Eventually, Derek couldn't ignore the call any longer. The suits went back in the closet and the garage lights stayed on for good. He quit the corporate grind and returned full-time to the life that gave him real joy, saving forgotten cars and sharing that journey with others. It wasn't just about fixing vehicles anymore. It was about reclaiming his happiness and connecting with people who felt the same way. His channel began to grow even faster. What had started as a side hustle transformed into a full-blown career. And in doing so, Derek found his version of freedom. Today, Vice Grip Garage boasts over 2 million subscribers and counting. Derek's journey from a dusty North Dakota farm to a YouTube powerhouse in Tennessee is the stuff of modern-day legends. But for him, success isn't measured by wealth or luxury. It's defined by freedom. The freedom to wake up each day and do what he loves, surrounded by family without answering to a boss or a corporate calendar. For Derek, luxury isn't about fast cars or designer suits. It's about having control over your time, your work, and your happiness. And that's a message that's resonated with millions. Walking away from a secure office job wasn't an easy choice, but it turned out to be the best decision of Derek's life. By following his passion and betting on himself, he built something far more valuable than a paycheck. His YouTube success didn't just bring in views, it brought opportunities. His videos began racking up millions of hits, which led to brand deals, merchandise sales, and eventually even a television deal. Fans loved his honesty, his grit, and his old-school values. And through all the growth, Derek stayed true to himself, never letting the spotlight change who he was. Vice Grip Garage quickly evolved into more than a YouTube channel, it became a brand. Derek didn't stop at videos. He branched into merchandise, car tools, and even a Motor Trend TV series called Roadworthy Rescues. The man who once filmed with a broken iPhone was now reaching millions through multiple platforms. Yet, despite the expansion, he kept his mission simple: fix old cars, share the process, and have fun doing it. Every project was still about passion. Every episode carried that same spirit of grit and gratitude. That's what kept people coming back, and what made his success feel so real. As the earnings grew, Derek didn't go on a wild spending spree. He stayed grounded. His biggest investments were cars, projects waiting for a second chance, and his family. When he wasn't elbows deep in an engine, he was spending time with his wife and kids. His passion wasn't just his job, it was his lifestyle. Everything revolved around the garage and the people who supported him from the beginning. And his viewers loved being part of that world. Watching Vice Grip Garage felt like sitting with an old friend in a cluttered barn, watching miracles happen one bolt at a time. In late 2021, Derek made another bold move, literally. He packed up his life in Minnesota and moved his entire family to Tennessee. The decision caught fans by surprise, but it made perfect sense. Tennessee offered a slower pace, better weather, and a more affordable lifestyle. Derek explained the move on his second channel, Vice Grip Lodge, sharing his reasons candidly. In Minnesota, he was spending more than an hour commuting daily. Over the course of a year, that added up to nearly a full month lost in traffic. That was time he could spend with his family, or under a hood. The shift to Tennessee wasn't just practical, it was personal. Derek found a place where he could build a new shop just minutes from home, allowing him to be more present as a husband, a father, and a creator. The mild winters meant fewer delays in car restoration, and the state's central location made it a hub for motorsports, something Derek was quickly falling deeper in love with. In Tennessee, he found the perfect balance. More garage time, more family time, and more chances to chase new adventures. For a guy who rebuilt cars from scratch, it was the ultimate fresh start. His move south also allowed Derek to dive headfirst into something new: racing. What started as a curiosity quickly became a new obsession. In 2021, he entered the Midwest drags with a vehicle that turned heads for all the right reasons: a lowered ice cream truck. It was more about fun than competition, but it sparked something in him. Later that year, he joined the Rocky Mountain Race Week with his Mustang, affectionately named El Toro. He began pushing limits, hitting 8-second runs, and gaining serious respect in the drag racing world. Derek wasn't just fixing cars anymore, he was flying in them. But the thrill of racing wasn't just about speed, it was about community. Derek found a second family in the world of drag and drive events, where friendships were forged over fuel lines and finish lines. These events became more than a competition. They were reunions of people who shared the same fire. It was everything Derek loved in one place: cars, camaraderie, and a sense of purpose. Whether he was wrenching in the garage or revving at the track, one thing was clear: Derek Bieri had found where he truly belonged. And the best part? He brought millions of fans along for the ride. Vice Grip Garage has become more than just a YouTube channel, it's become a full-on family journey. Derek's wife, Jessica, plays a vital role behind the scenes, helping to keep everything organized and running smoothly. But it's not just the grown-ups involved. Their 3 sons are also part of the action, growing up surrounded by tools, car parts, and the spirit of restoration. While they might still be too young to get behind the wheel and race, they're already learning valuable skills. It's clear that this garage isn't just building cars, it's building the next generation of passionate car lovers. The youngest of Derek's sons, Bentley, is already starting to carve out his own place in the car world. He's launched his own YouTube channel called Little Grip Garage, where he works on go-karts and dirt bikes with impressive enthusiasm. The channel might be small when compared to Vice Grip Garage, but it's quickly gained a loyal audience who love watching Bentley follow in his dad's footsteps. From modifying golf carts to fixing up his go-kart, Bentley shows that age doesn't matter when you've got the drive to learn. His passion for getting his hands dirty mirrors Derek's perfectly. Bentley's content is raw, honest, and filled with the same kind of can-do energy that defines his dad's channel. He may still be young, but he's already tackling real projects and learning the ropes in a very hands-on way. It's not just about the machines, it's about developing character, patience, and resilience through problem-solving. The fans love watching Bentley's journey because it feels authentic and inspiring. Derek is clearly passing on more than just mechanical skills, he's passing on values. And it's this bond between father and son that adds a unique heart to everything they do in the garage. Vice Grip Garage might have started with just Derek and a single vision, but it's now transformed into something much bigger, a full-blown family affair. Every video feels like a team effort, and that's what sets it apart. The Bieri family name is becoming synonymous with automotive passion, and their influence is growing stronger with every upload. From humble beginnings on a North Dakota farm to YouTube success, the journey hasn't been easy or predictable. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Derek's path has been all about doing things on his own terms and staying grounded in who he is. Even now, with millions of fans watching, Derek hasn't lost touch with where he came from. Whether he's elbow-deep in grease under a rusty hood or sharing a light-hearted moment with his kids, he embodies the spirit of a true car enthusiast. For him, it's never been about chasing fame or getting rich. It's always been about doing what he loves and sharing that joy with as many people as possible. That sincerity is what draws people in. It's what makes them stick around video after video. And it's why Vice Grip Garage keeps growing stronger by the day. Derek's journey hasn't always been smooth. Like any meaningful pursuit, it's come with sacrifices. Long nights in the garage, setbacks with projects, and the constant balancing act between content creation and family life. It's been a tough road. There were moments when the future seemed uncertain, but Derek never let go of his authenticity. He stayed focused, never trying to become something he's not. That's the kind of realness people are craving these days. In a world of overproduced content, Vice Grip Garage stands out because it feels honest, relatable, and driven by genuine passion, not marketing gimmicks or flashy edits. Let's rewind the tape to when it all began. Derek first started turning wrenches when he was just a teenager. And no, it wasn't in a decked-out shop with top-tier tools. It was usually in the driveway, working with hand-me-down equipment and whatever spare parts he could find. Projects often failed, tools would break, and mistakes were frequent, but each setback taught him something valuable. Those early experiences didn't just teach him how to fix cars. They built the foundation of perseverance and creativity that would eventually fuel Vice Grip Garage. It's proof that skill is built, not bought. Family has always been the engine behind Derek's journey. He learned the ropes from his dad and grandpa, men who passed down not just knowledge but values. Now he's continuing that tradition with his own kids. Jessica, his wife, plays a massive role in keeping the channel running smoothly. She's not always in front of the camera, but she's a pillar behind the scenes. From managing logistics to helping with ideas, her support is a key ingredient to the channel's success. And now their kids are learning the same way Derek once did, by doing, failing, and trying again. This isn't just about fixing up old cars, it's about building something meaningful together as a family. Derek's belief in hands-on learning is something he's passing on to Bentley and his brothers every day. And through Bentley's own channel, you can already see that spark turning into something real. Little Grip Garage might still be in its early stages, but it represents so much more than a kid making videos. It's the continuation of a legacy. It's the next chapter in a story that began years ago in a humble garage with nothing but a busted engine and a big dream. Vice Grip Garage is more than a content brand, it's a movement. Derek has inspired thousands of people to pick up a wrench and give it a shot. He's shown that you don't need fancy tools or a spotless garage to make things happen. All you really need is some basic gear, a love for the craft, and the determination to see things through. He's never hidden his mistakes, and that vulnerability has made him incredibly relatable. It's refreshing in a world where so many creators try to present a perfect image. Derek's realness is what people connect with. Of course, balancing everything isn't easy. Between the demands of filming, editing, restoring cars, running a business, and making time for his family, Derek's plate is always full. But his move to Tennessee marked a turning point. It allowed him to slow down just enough to focus on what really mattered: his family and his passion. The change of scenery brought a fresh start, and in many ways, it renewed his energy for creating content. Tennessee gave him room to breathe, both literally and figuratively, and that space has been critical in keeping Vice Grip Garage grounded and growing. Another key to Derek's ongoing success is his deep connection with his fans. He's always been someone who takes time to read comments, respond when he can, and attend events to meet his supporters face to face. He never takes their support for granted and often credits them as the reason Vice Grip Garage is what it is today. That gratitude comes through loud and clear in everything he does. It's a two-way street. He gives his all to the audience, and in return they stick with him, project after project. That kind of loyalty can't be faked, it's earned. For Derek, the love of cars isn't just about fixing engines or repainting hoods. It's about the stories hidden in every vehicle. Every rusted frame, every busted carburetor, Every forgotten classic has a tale to tell. He loves uncovering those stories, breathing new life into what others have left behind. Whether it's a car abandoned in a field for decades or one that just needs a little help to shine again, Derek gives each project the attention it deserves. He knows these machines carry memories for someone out there, and he takes pride in honoring that history through his work. Over the years, his collection has grown, from classic muscle cars to old farm trucks, each with its own background. He's never chased the flashiest or most expensive cars. What draws him in are the ones with character, the ones that look like they've been through something and still have more to give. And once the work is done, nothing beats the moment when that engine turns over, the tires hit the road, and the car gets a second chance. For Derek, that's what it's all about. Restoration isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's about giving something old a new story. Derek has a soft spot for the underdogs, the vehicles people write off as junk. He loves taking on the challenge of proving them wrong. Where others see a pile of rust, Derek sees potential. He sees opportunity. He sees a new beginning waiting to happen. That underdog mentality defines Vice Grip Garage. It's the idea that anything and anyone can be brought back to life with enough heart and hard work. And as long as there are forgotten classics out there, Derek's going to be there with his tools in hand, ready to bring them roaring back to life. Even with all this success, Derek isn't slowing down. In fact, he's always looking for the next rescue, the next barn find, the next project car that's just waiting for a second chance. He's not chasing views or trends, he's chasing passion. And that's exactly why his audience keeps coming back. His journey proves you don't have to follow the traditional road to find success. You just need grit, creativity, and the courage to be yourself. Derek Bier's story isn't finished yet, not by a long shot. There are still countless cars out there waiting for their turn in the spotlight. From dusty barns to forgotten junkyards, from overgrown fields to quiet auctions, there are still treasures waiting to be found. And as long as people believe in second chances, Vice Grip Garage will have a reason to keep going. Derek has built more than a business, he's built a community of believers. Believers in hard work, second chances, and the beauty of bringing old things back to life. He's a reminder that no machine is ever truly finished. There's always a little more life left, and someone like Derek to coax it out and get it back on the road. So, what do you think? Was Derek's move to Tennessee just a fresh start? Or was it hiding something deeper we haven't seen yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from the world of cars and creators who make magic with a wrench in hand.